are live. Welcome back to another edition of NHL Opening Lines here. We get a fun slate tomorrow. We get 10 games, only 2 of them are minus 270 or higher favorites. All right. It should be a fun slate to go over. I've already made how many plays so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays. I'm waiting on puck lines to make a few more. Because there are a few -1 lines I'm looking to bet. Ooh, one just dropped into a range where I can just money line them. We'll get into that in a minute. But why don't we get into a little bit of NHL for the this is for the 9th. This is for the 9th. I keep typing in the wrong date. Keep doing that. 9th. It's the 8th. We're looking ahead to tomorrow, which is the 9th. There we go. All right. Let's get into it here. We're going to start it off here. The Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Hurricanes are 345 favorites. Total 6 in this game. Let's grab market movements in this one. We'll grab the injury report and everything we need to know about this matchup. There we go. Got that. All right. This line opened up at Carolina minus 360. It's now minus 343. So it's moved 17 cents in the direction of the Philadelphia Flyers. Last line opened up at over 6 at $1.16. It is now $1.18. Taking a look at the injury report here, Philadelphia will be without Tony DeAngelo, who was suspended 2 games for spearing in the last game against Tampa. Cam Atkinson, Sean Couturier, Ryan Ellis, Travis Konechny all remain out. On the other side, Chatfield is questionable as well as Antti Ranta, with Anderson being the expected goalie in this one, Carter Hart on the other side. And then, of course, the same guys they've been missing all year, Gardner, Kashe, and Pasquaretti. Looking at this spot for me, I really have no particular interest in this game. It's just one of those where I was pretty plain and simply priced out of the matchup in this one, and I'm not really looking at it too much here. I think there are better games on the slate. If I had to play anything in this game, it's the under. I think the under may be a decent look. I have this game projected for 5.74 goals, so not enough for me to go ahead pull the trigger on it. But on the flip side, I mean, I could see this being a Flyers spot potentially where we grab maybe the Flyers plus the goal and a half, something along those lines. Nothing I'm really interested in, though, in this matchup. This one was a pretty easy pass. This is one of the 2 big favorites of the slate. So no interest in this one here. Aho. Fair enough. We'll move on here. This line's actually dropped a decent amount, which is actually lending me to being able to play this straight up rather than having to do anything crazy with it. This line opened up at New Jersey minus 133. It went up to $1.50 at one point, and it's come back down 10 cents to some buyback here at the Washington Capitals to bring it back down to the 140 because this is not the line anymore. I typed these up an hour ago. So bam. This total opened up at a 6.5 at even money. It has stayed there. It has not moved. I have already played the over. Let me grab there we go. There's the scroller. Over 6.5 in this game is something I've already played, and I am definitely interested in the New Jersey Devils in this game. We have the Devils, who have been a really good road team this year. I have this game projected 3.91 to 3.01. I have the Devils more like $1.90 favorites in this game. I think this is a good matchup for New Jersey. They've been playing really well as of late. Don't look now. New Jersey might steal this division from Carolina. I know Carolina's won last night and New Jersey lost last night, which is going to make that a little bit more difficult on them. Let's take a look at the standings real quick, because right now in the Metro Division, Carolina and New Jersey are separated by 4 points. Carolina does have a game in hand. If we want to back maybe the Devils to win this division, could be an interesting prop, which could be, it's $3 for the Devils to win this division. So I think there's worse bets out there. I did make a futures play today on a division winner. I wouldn't be opposed to grabbing some New Jersey Devils because when we look at it here, let's take a look. I think there was a reason why I stayed off of it. New Jersey and Carolina have about the same type of strength of schedule, slightly more difficult for Carolina. With that being said, I really like this New Jersey Devils team, and I am going to be playing them here, and I am going to actually grab them right now because they are a price that I am okay with, and I'm going to grab them at that minus 140 price tag. So I'm going to also grab the Devils in this game minus 140 against the Capitals. I think the Capitals are a little bit of a bet against team for the rest of the season. This is a team that's not playing particularly well, and I see this as a spot where we continue to back the Devils at home. So I'm going to grab the Devils or on the road, my bad. Devils minus 140 for me in this game, as well as the over 6.5 at even money. New Jersey puck line. Yes, I was actually waiting for the puck lines to be released to play the minus one line. I was going to look to play the minus one line when they were minus 150 because my max is minus 140 for a money line. But yeah, definitely interested in the Devils at $1.40 rather than having to lay a price with them, just asking them to win the game. What's up? Hi, Dad. How are you doing? Yeah, so we'll move on to the next matchup here, which is luckily this is the last game with a massive favorite. I think the biggest favorite after this is $1.75. The biggest favorite after this is only minus 175, and that's the Bruins against the Oilers. But we have the New York Rangers. They're at the Montreal Canadiens. Rangers are 270 road favorites. Total is 6 in this game. Let's take a look at where this line has moved. This line opened up at a minus 285 for the Rangers, and it's moved 15 cents in the direction of the Montreal Canadiens. This line opened up at over six at minus 125. It's moved 5 cents towards the over. It's now minus 130. Let's take a look at the injuries. By the way, looking at the injuries for last game, Curtis Lazar, Miles Wood is questionable. Miles Wood hasn't played in a hot minute. He was held out for precautionary reasons in the last game. And then Bernier and Blackwood remain out. For the Capitals, something to keep an eye out for. Faravari and Jensen are both questionable. And then they still got Hagelin, Carlson, and Brown out. On the flip side here for this game that we were talking about, we have the Rangers pretty healthy. Tyler Mott and Ryan Lindgren are both questionable, and that's all they got. This is the healthiest we've seen the New York Rangers all season long. And on the other side, this team is far anything but healthy, the Montreal Canadiens. They could be getting some players back, though. Caden Gooley, Kirby Doc, my bad. Barron and Armia are all questionable in this game. They're still going to be without most of their top 9. Paul Byron, Cole Caulfield, Jake Evans, Brendan Gallagher, Sean Monahan, Yaros Slavoski, and Zedek as well. I have no particular interest in this game. I think this could be a sneaky spot where the Canadiens can come out with a win in this game. And maybe if this line jumps up to a 6.5, I'll think about going underneath it and taking an under. But for this matchup here, I don't have a particular interest in this one here. I think that there's value on Montreal. Do I want to back Montreal? Not particularly. So this is an interesting spot, but I have really no interest in this game. So we'll move on to the next one here. Buffalo Sabres are hosting the Dallas Stars. The Stars are $1.55 favorites with a total of 6.5. This line has actually dropped a little bit. We'll get into that real quick. We have the Dallas Stars. They opened up at $1.39. They went up to minus 155, and they've come back down a few cents to minus 148. Total of this game opened up at 6.5 minus 113. It's dropped 8 cents towards the under, and now it's minus 105 for the over. And looking at this spot for me, I have this game projected for I want to say UPL and Ottinger. Obviously, a nice goalie advantage there for the Dallas Stars. The Stars have been playing much better as of late. I have this game projected 3.78 to 2.49, so I think the Sabres the Stars should be a much bigger favorite in this game than they are. I have this game projected for 6.27 goals, so I think this total is about right, probably slightly towards the under in this game, but I'm going to take the Stars -1 when that line is available. So this is a star spot for me. These two teams did play a little while ago, and the Sabres won that matchup here. I think that the Stars get back at them in this one. Stars -1 for me in that matchup. Moving on, the Islanders are taking on the flightless birds of the Penguins. We have this at a minus 130 with a total of 6. Taking a look at where this line has moved. It opened up at minus 129 for the Penguins. It's moved 5 cents towards the Penguins. It's now minus 134. This line opened up at over 6 minus 105. Is now over 6 at minus 108. Looking at the injury report for this one, by the way, last game, Wedgwood's questionable. Glendening remains out. Samuelson, Stillman, 2 defensemen are questionable. Alex Tuck remains out. For this one, it's the same guys, really. Matthew Barzal is out. Same with Clutterbuck, Pajot, and Wahlstrom. I wouldn't be surprised to see Wahlstrom return tomorrow because he was skating, and that would be a really big help if he returns to the lineup against the Penguins, who are pretty healthy here. Granlund is probably going to make his debut for the Penguins, and then it's just Poland and Poling is the 2 players they're missing there. This is a super healthy Penguins team, probably the most healthy we've seen them all year. And I think the wrong team's favored in this game. I think there's a massive goalie advantage with Sorokin over Yari. Yari's been league average this year. 90 goals allowed, 90 expected goals allowed. He's a straight up 1. And we've seen this matchup 3 times already this year. The Islanders have won all 3, and they're going for the sweep. The Islanders have a really good track history against the Penguins. I'm on the Islanders in this spot. I got them at $1.17 of the plus variety. I do like the Islanders as a road doggy in this one. This has been a team that has been holding their opponents down expected goal-wise. They haven't allowed more than 3 expected goals in 6 straight games. And this is an Islanders team that's starting to play really well. They absolutely dominated that game against Buffalo. The 3-2 score is kind of flattering for the side of the Sabres, as it was 4.73 to 1.45 for the expected goal numbers. So this is an Islanders team that's playing awesome. Sorokin is playing like a Vezina caliber goaltender so at the moment. And I like the New York Islanders in this spot. So I got him plus 117 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll keep moving on here. The Tampa Bay Lightning are hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. The Lightning are $1.55 home favorites with a total of 6 in this game. The Lightning finally got off the schneid last game with a 5-2 win over the Philadelphia Flyers. Is projected for Hill and Vasilevsky. I wouldn't be surprised if it's quick. If it's quick, I have an interest in the Lightning -1. I think that because I just think Jonathan Quick is washed, to be completely honest. Let's take a look at where this line has moved. This line opened up at Tampa -165. It went down to 155 at one point. It's right back up at 165. This total opened up at a 6 -115, and it stayed right there. Looking at injuries for this matchup here, it's Aiden Hill is questionable. Why is he questionable? Lower body injury. He missed practice on Wednesday. So it may be Jonathan Quick in that for Vegas tomorrow, which could be interesting. Nicholas Waugh is questionable as well. Will Carrier remains out, as well as the Ron Bossois, Nolan Patrick, Mark Stone, and Logan Thompson. On the other side, Victor Hedman could return. He's considered day-to-day, so a big bullet that they dodged there. And questionable as well is Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. I kind of lean towards the Lightning in this game if we're going to get Jonathan Quick. I want Jonathan Quick in order to back the Lightning here. I think this line's correct with Hill in it. Hill's actually been pretty good. All of a sudden, he's an above-average goaltender, 64.07 expected goals allowed and only 62 allowed. So he's a 0.97 goalie rating. So he's been an above-average goaltender as of late. I do think the Golden Knights fall off a little bit here towards the end of the year, and I like the Kings to win that division. But looking at it right now, I'm looking at the Lightning here a little bit in this spot at $1.55, $1.65, probably taking the -1 line. Not anything I'm going to bet at the moment. I would like Jonathan Quick in that in order to do that. What's good, Brandon? How are you doing? Doing good. And we will move on here. We have 5 games remaining on the slate. Edmonton Oilers are at the Boston Bruins. The Bruins are $1.75 favorites with a total of 6.5 in this game. I have moved on this game, as you guys can see in the scroller below. This line opened up at Boston minus 180. It's actually moved down 11 cents towards the Oilers, down to a 169. This line opened up at over 6.5 minus 113. It is now minus 120. I got involved in this game at under 6.5 at plus 113. It's now plus 109. So it'd be a small little line movement for this game. Looking at the injury report here, Evander Kane is questionable. He could be ready for a return. Holloway is out as for the Oilers, and for the Bruins, it's Nick Foligno and Taylor Hall. And looking at this spot for me, I took the under 6.5 in this game. I have this game projected 3.11 to 2.23, 5.14 goal, 5.42 goals. I kind of lean towards Boston -1 in this game just because Boston's continuing to win hockey games. And I really don't feel like stepping in front of the Bruins right now. It is kind of weird that the line's dropping the way it is. And the Oilers at a big plus price tag could be very appealing. I really have no interest in the Oilers in this matchup. It's Bruins or nothing for me on the side perspective. But I am playing the under 6.5 in this game. I think this could be a little bit of a lower scoring game, a 3-2, 3-1 type of Bruins win. So that's where I'm looking at for this one. Under 6.5 Bruins and Oilers. We'll continue on here. 4 games remaining. The St. Louis Blues -130 against the San Jose Sharks. Total of 6.5 in this game. Reimer and Binnington, your projected goaltenders for this one here. Let's take a look at where this line has moved. As this line has moved against me. All right. This line opened up at -131 for the Blues. It's now jumped to -141 for the Blues. And then for the total, it opened up at over 6.5 plus 102, and it's remained there. I got the San Jose Sharks at plus 119. They're now up to plus 128, so I don't like the lines moved against me, but it is what it is. It's what you're going to have to deal with sometimes when you bet ahead. I think the wrong team is favored in this matchup here. I think the Blues have been struggling an awful lot. This is a team that's giving up 3.76 expected goals allowed, and this Sharks team is much better on the road than they are at home. Because when we look at their home record compared to their road record, that's where they win a majority of their games. Now, granted, the San Jose Sharks are the worst team in hockey, but they've won 13 games on the road compared to 6 at home. So they've won almost double their game, more than double their games away from the Shark Tank than rather than in the Shark Tank. So I did take a stab here with the San Jose Sharks. They're only plus 128 now. So a little bit of a short line there. Could see this as a spot where they can come out and get a win. I think the Blues are a bet against team going forward. So taking a shot here with the San Jose Sharks at $1.19. Moving on, this is another matchup where I'm waiting for a -1.5 to be available to bet the -1 line. The Nashville Predators are taking on the Arizona Coyotes. The Nashville Predators are $1.60 favorites, total 6 in this game. Let's take a look where this line has moved, where it opened up at Nashville -163. It has dropped 3 cents toward the Arizona Coyotes. It's now -160. Over 6 is -106. It has stayed there. And looking at injuries in this game, it's also projected to be Connor Ingram potentially in this one as well. Passian and Tomasino are questionable. Carrier, Johnson, Johansson, Borowiecki, and Forsberg all remain out. Ritchie and O'Brien are questionable. Ladd, Little, Voracek remain out for the Coyotes. I have this game projected 3.4 to 2.6. I have the Preds more of a -180, -185 in this game, and I have this game exactly at a 6. So I think this total is spot on. I'd like the Preds in this spot on the -1 line. It's probably where I'm going to be looking at them here. That's probably going to be around even money if I would have to guess, or -105 range. But I do like Nashville in this spot a little bit. I think there is some value on this line, even as a $1.60 road favorite. I think this is a Predators team that is going to compete to potentially steal a playoff spot from a Winnipeg or hopefully a Seattle. So I like Nashville here. This team just doesn't quit. Nashville -1 for me. Okay. All right. We have 2 games remaining on this slate. Next one here is the Colorado Avalanche hosting the LA Kings. The Kings are, or my bad, the Avalanche are $1.60 favorites. Total of 6 in this game. This line opened up at minus 165 actually for the Avalanche, and it's I believe stayed there. I don't know why I got one. Yeah, it's 160 now. But and this total opened up at a 6 minus 120. It has stayed there. I have this game projected for closer to a pick 'em. Really? And I actually lean under in this game. I have this game projected for 5.46 goals. I took the Kings in this spot at plus 144. I like the way this Kings team is playing. They've won 8 of their last 10 games, expected goals wise. The only games they lost the expected goal battle was against the Devils and the Islanders. This is a team that has dominated the last few games. They've won the expected goal battle by at least 1.26 in 4 straight games. They're coming off a dominating win against the Washington Capitals, a game where they had their own against the St. Louis Blues. They took care of business against the Montreal Canadiens. They beat up on the Winnipeg Jets. This is a good LA Kings team. I really like this Kings team. I played them to win the division at plus 325 today. I almost played Western Conference and Cup futures with this team as well. I think that this is a very sneaky team. I like the LA Kings in this spot here at plus 144. These are 2 teams. I would love the draw in this game. I would love for these 2 teams to finish in a draw so they can both get points because I have divisional futures on both these teams. But for this matchup here, I'm going to grab the plus money with the LA Kings. I think that this is a good spot for them. So Kings money line for me in this one. Moving on to the final matchup here. The Ottawa Senators are at the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken are minus 130 favorites with a total of 6.5 in this game. Looking at the line movement in this one here. This line opened up at minus 143 for the Kraken. It's dropped 15 cents to minus 128. So heavy line movement towards Ottawa. This line opened up at over 6.5, minus 105. It's moved 1 cent towards the under to minus 104. Looking at injuries for this game, Talbot's going to be out 3 weeks, so it's going to be Matt Stogard and most likely Philip Grubauer. Formenton, Forsberg, and Norris remain out for the Senators. Vince Dunn is questionable. Burakovsky and Donskoy ran out for the Kraken. In this game here, I took another dog. I took the Senators at plus 119. I think this is a good spot. All right. I like this Senators team a little bit right now. I think that this is a team that can definitely flirt with taking the Penguin spot. I have this game projected at a pick'em, 3.03 to 3.03. And I got plus money on one side. That's the side I end up grabbing. I like the Senators in the spot against the Kraken in this game. I got some plants growing. Cool. But that is everything for this slate. Quick little recap here. And then we will head on out. I'm on the Devils money line. I just added that at minus 140. I took the Devils caps over 6.5 as well. I am on the Islanders plus 117. I got Oilers and Bruins under 6.5 at plus 113. San Jose Sharks at $1.19. Kings at plus 144. Senators at plus 116. Some plays I'm looking to add are the Stars minus 1. I'm looking to add the Predators minus 1 as well. And I believe maybe the Bruins minus 1. I think it was one I was looking at. No, the Devils were the other one I was looking to add minus 1, but they dropped into that 140 range, so I was able to play them like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for tomorrow's slate. We'll have more in depth for tomorrow's slate tomorrow morning on the Earle Sports Bet Show. But also be sure to check out the baseball show tonight. We'll be going over the Chicago White Sox 2023. But for now, that is going to do it for this one. That is it for this, and thank you guys for watching. Let me take off the banners. I usually do that as well. All right. See you guys.